Okay, so we are continuing with our reading of Sharanagati, and we are in the middle of Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj's editor's note to the 1949 edition, was it? Yes, 1949 Bengali edition. And Srila Gurudev cited some verses from the scriptures which are describing the dignity and illuminating the inner essence of what Sharanagati is. And now Srila Gurudev is going to quote from the writings of some Vaishnava Acharyas. So the last verse we heard was Lord Ramchandra's solemn promise, his declaration. Sakrid eva prapano yastava smiti yachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadam yetat ratamama. This is my rata, this is my vow, my promise that if anyone comes to me just once and sincerely, earnestly prays to me for shelter, for fearlessness, for freedom from fear, I will always supply that to them. This is my promise. This is the power of Sharanagati. It can move the Lord's heart in such a profound way. This is the power of Sharanagati, that the infinite, the absolute, can become subdued by the finite, by one insignificant speck, particle of finite. This is the power of Sharanagati. It is the approach of one feeling oneself to be the most bereft, the most in need, but the result of that is to give one a position of such, such power, actually. It will automatically bring one to such a high position. It's a very curious thing. Okay, so we'll continue. Examples of expressions of Sharanagati from the writings of the Acharyas prior to Sriman Mahaprabhu. And now we have Jamunacharya, who is in the Sri Sampradaya. Sri Jamunacharya. And this verse, this is in Shri Shri Prapana Jivanamritam. Very beautiful, very hopeful verse. Actually, this is one of the very first verses that I memorized when I first went through Prapana Jivanamrita. This very hopeful verse. Na dharma nishtosmi na chatma vedi na bhakti mam charanarvinde kinchano nanya gati sharanya tvat padamulam sharanam prapadye. Na dharma nishtosmi na chatma vedi na bhakti mam charanarvinde kinchano nanya gati sharanya tvat padamulam sharanam prapadye. O Supreme Refuge, I am not religious. I do not know the nature of the soul, and I do not have any devotion to your lotus feet. I am bereft and have no other shelter. Such as I am, I surrender unto the soles of your feet. O Supreme Refuge, I am not religious. I do not know the nature of the soul, and I do not have any devotion to your lotus feet. I am bereft and have no other shelter. Such as I am, I surrender unto the soles of your feet. This is very beautiful and very, very hopeful for us. And we saw practically, this is the mood that our Gurudev appreciated, that devotees would approach as they are, in a naked way. You know, this is my situation. Sridhar Maharshi comments that in the Vastra Haran Leela, when Krishna, he steals the clothes of the Braja Gopis, and so they're left naked on the river bank. You know, they have no clothes. Param Guru Maharshi mentions that we must approach Krishna in this type of naked way. This type of naked approach, no pretense, nothing hidden, you know. As it is said, you know, you can wake up a sleeping man, but a man who's pretending to be asleep, you cannot wake up. So we have to, this type of naked mood is expressed here in this verse. And I don't have anything, I don't know anything, I have no qualification in any department, and as I am, you know, as I am approaching you. And we saw Srila Gurudev, he very much appreciated that candid, you know, non-artificial, from the heart approach, the real approach. Then it's like, then he can, first there has to be a clear diagnosis, then the doctor can treat. But if we're not approaching in that type of, you know, egoless spirit, the naked approach, egoless approach, then it is very difficult for the doctor to treat us, because we're not being honest about what our situation is. And Gurudev, there was one Vaishnav, one devotee in our mission, they don't do things exactly according to the book, and they follow in some like mixed type of way. And Srila Gurudev commented that, you know, this devotee, I don't want to say exactly because I don't want to name the person, but said, you know, this devotee, they came with this and they came with that, and they fully offered themselves, you know, as they were. Sometimes we see with devotees, they have this mood of like, they have to be perfect, then they're going to surrender. No. They have this kind of like extreme approach. Like, if they're going to do it, then it has to be 110%. No. But to just like steadily continue on the path day by day, not perfectly, but honestly and sincerely, and without giving up the trying spirit. That they cannot do. And so you see, maybe they'll be in the temple for some period of time and doing everything very, very perfectly, and maybe criticizing other persons who are making some mistakes here and there. But they don't last very long because they can't maintain it. And then they go to the other extreme. So, you know, as we are, we're trying to surrender. We're not waiting for tomorrow. We're not waiting for tomorrow. Here, now, today, this moment, we are trying to approach and offer ourselves as we are, in our low position. You know, it is a type of arrogance we have, that we need to be perfect, we're afraid to make mistakes. It's not necessary to be afraid of humiliation, of mistakes, or any of these things. So this mood is wonderfully expressed in this verse of Sri Jamunacharya. And then we have another prayer here from Sri Kulashekar. This is also included in Prapana Jivanamritam. And in Kulashekar, he also appears he was a Vaishnav king, also in the Sri Sampradaya. Bhava jaladi gatanam dvanda vatahatanam sutta duhritrikala chachana bararditanam yishama vishaya toye majatam aplavanam bhavati sharanam eko vishnupoto naranam. Mukunda Mala Stotra. For those persons who have fallen into the ocean of mundane existence, who are being lashed by the hurricane of duality, who are crushed by the burden of maintaining their wife, family, and so on, who are drowning in the ghastly whirlpool of sensual pleasures and bereft of a vessel, the only shelter is the lifeboat of the Supreme Lord. And so on and so forth. So here Srila Gurudev closes his citations. And it's really extraordinary to think that Srila Gurudev, he's only 19 years old when he's writing this, and he's collected so many verses here from the scriptures. And remember, this is before the days of internet, before the days of Google search, before the days of Krishna search and Vedabase and so on and so forth. So it's not like nowadays we're so spoiled. You can just like Google, or you can Vedabase something and it'll pop up in a second. So what type of recall did Srila Gurudev have that, just from hearing from Srila Sridhar Maharaj and hearing from the classes, he has all of this, vast array of scriptures at his disposal, is there for him, for his picking. So what type of deep knowledge, understanding, recall did he have at such a young age? So now he's closing his citations, and he's concluding his editor's note. The teachings of Sharanagati given to the world by the supremely merciful avatar Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are of unparalleled greatness. This is because his teachings are able to bestow the fortune of loving service, prema seva, to Sri Krishna, who is the origin and embodiment of all rasas. The teachings of Sharanagati given to the world by the supremely merciful avatar Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are of unparalleled greatness. This is because his teachings are able to bestow the fortune of loving service, prema seva, to Sri Krishna. So Sharanagati, it is crucial, it is the key. This is the glory of Sharanagati. It is only by Sharanagati that we can attain the supreme goal of life, prema. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Doya Kodi Swaparshad Suyadama Saha Avatari Atyanta Durlabha Prema Kodi Paredan. In order to distribute this most rare prem, Shikaya Sharanagati Bhakatera Pran. He has given instruction, teachings on Sharanagati, the life of the devotees. And we were discussing this a few days ago, how this is something that I mean, I'm not a Vedic scholar by a long shot, but I can't say if this is it is not exclusive to Mahaprabhu, because definitely in the Sri Sampradaya, the Ramanuja Sampradaya, Sharanagati has been given an important position. But we can say to a very great extent the importance of Sharanagati is neglected. And definitely today in our, in the modern fad of, Bhakti practices and kirtan and so forth, this is something that is neglected. This is the key to really obtaining the real thing, the real substance. the approach of Sharanagati, which basically is, in a nutshell, I exist for you, not that you exist for me. This is the crux of the matter. I exist for that, not that that exists for me, not that that exists for my, puny, my puny little existence, for my cheap thrills, to please my senses. It does not exist for that. It exists for its own purpose. And I must reconceive and recalibrate myself so that I exist for that. Word, thought, and deed. I am acting in the interest of that. It is common sense. It is common sense. If we are going to approach a greater thing, it must be with the spirit of submission and surrender. Only thereby can we invite the grace of that higher realm. So the Sharanagati, it is the crucial thing. It is the key. It is the foundation. Without that, we have nothing. And with that, we have everything. And this is one perspective. But another perspective is that Srila Sridhar Maharaj has also expressed that Sharanagati itself is the end. Sharanagati is the means, and it is also the end. That is another perspective. Srila Sridhar Maharaj said it is like cash in hand payment, not like a post-dated check. That as much as you are surrendering, so much you are already getting. No. So from that perspective, we won't say, oh, you surrender so that you can get prem. But rather, you surrender so you can surrender. That in itself is the reward.
Virtue is its own reward.
Yes, yes, exactly. Exactly. Okay. In this book, Sriman Mahaprabhu's follower, the great soul, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, has taught the jivas of this world those very teachings of Sharanagati. So that Sharanagati, which has such a dignified position, which Mahaprabhu came to teach, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he is describing that in this book.
Jai Vishakha Devi.
Jai Srila Devi. Jai. Jai. It is certain that the supreme feet of Vishnu and the service of Krishna are obtainable through Sharanagati. The Supreme Lord is by nature affectionate to the surrendered souls. Sharanagata Vatsal. He dispels their suffering and showers his supermundane sweetness upon their hearts. Some have said that Sharanagati is realization of the non-separateness of all living beings and objects, which is brought about by vision of the indwelling omnipresence of the Supreme Lord. Such realization, however, is a part of Jnana Bhakti, devotion adulterated by knowledge. It is not integral to pure devotion. We, as enjoyers who have forgotten the Lord, are perpetually burning in the blazing fire of the threefold miseries of this illusory universe. Various evil desires, anarthas, have made us forgetful of our true selves, that we are Sri Krishna's servants and children of nectar, and turned us into slaves of Maya. Thus the magnanimous Thakur, Srila Bhaktivinoda, being sorrowful for the sorrow of others, para dukkha dukhi, has sung, Vinod kohe hai hai, Hari das, Hari nahi pai. Alas, alas, the Lord's servants have not obtained the Lord. And this prayer is very, very poignant, very heart rendering. It's not properly, we're not able to properly render it into English. But Hari Das, Hari Nahi Pai, whose very nature is to be Hari Das. That is who they are. They do not have Hari. No. Such a tragic circumstance. But what is really tragic is that we don't even realize that that's what we need, and that's who we really are. That is the most tragic thing. We're not even aware of that. Not only that, but we are resisting that. We cannot obtain happiness in this world by our own persistent endeavors, because we have rejected happiness himself, ecstasy himself, the embodiment of all rasas, Akila Rasamrita Murti, Sri Krishna. To obtain true happiness, we must serve that Supreme Person whom the Vedas have described with the expression Raso Vaisa. Thus, the great souls have said that there is no other recourse for the jivas than to become detached from this world, Nishkincham, and surrender to the lotus feet of that Supreme Person, ecstasy himself. Without Sharanagati, the state of truly being his own, Tadyatva, is never realized. Thus, the learned profusely praise the unprecedented fruit of Sharanagati. In the Vaishnav Tantra, the characteristics of Sharanagati have been explained as follows. Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulya vivarjanam Vrakshishatiti vishvaso goptritve varanam tata atmanikshepa karpanye shadvidha sharanagati. Accepting everything favorable, rejecting everything unfavorable, being confident that Krishna will grant his protection, embracing Krishna's guardianship, fully offering oneself to Krishna, and feeling oneself to be lowly are the 6 aspects of Sharanagati. Among these 6 aspects, Goptritve Varanam, embracing the Lord's guardianship, is the complete embodiment, Angi, of Sharanagati. Among these 6 aspects, Goptritve Varanam, embracing the Lord's guardianship, is the complete embodiment, Angi, of Sharanagati. The other 5 aspects are limbs, Angas. So this spirit, this mood to embrace the Lord as one's guardian, one's shelter, this is the main mood of Sharanagati, the most integral mood. And the others, they are supporting that or a part of that. But that is the main, the central thought, the central mood and feeling in Sharanagati. Simply to accept the Lord as one's Lord and guardian. That is all. Everything will come from that. There are 3 ways in which one embraces the Lord as one's guardian: physically, verbally, and mentally. These are described in Sri Hari Bhakti Vilas. Tavasmiti vadan vacha tataiva manasavidan tatstanam ashitas tanva modate sharanagata. Declaring with their words, I am yours. Knowing this within their mind and taking shelter of your abode with their body, the surrendered soul rejoices. declaring with their words, I am yours, knowing this within their mind, and taking shelter of your abode with their body, the surrendered soul rejoices. Surrender performed in full in these three ways swiftly grants complete success. Otherwise, the result obtained is proportionate to the depth of one's surrender. Surrender performed in full in these three ways swiftly grants complete success. Otherwise, the result obtained is proportionate to the depth of one's surrender. Ye yatamam prapadyante tamstataiva bhajameham. As persons approach me, as persons surrender to me, so I reciprocate with them. So we have to give our whole self. Srila Goswami Maharaj likes very much to quote one expression of Srila Srinu Maharaj: give heart, receive heart. Can give heart, we will receive heart. There's one very nice article we've prepared where Srila Srinu Maharaj is discussing that. He's saying that, if we are offering some outer aspect of ourselves, then Krishna, he will approach us in that way. He will give us some outer thing. We are giving one tiny part of ourselves, and we are expecting that Krishna will reciprocate in full. It is very unrealistic to think like that. But if we want to place, Gurudev, he expressed, we want to place in the heart of Krishna. That is what we want. If we want a connection with that Vrindavan Krishna, that Krishna living in the heart of our Gurudev, we have to give our whole self. No nook or corner can be left hidden or covered, but everything must be exposed and offered. And so there's some play, some game, we can say, because Krishna knows all the things that we're hiding and all of our little corners where we're keeping some things. And so then there's like some dance that's going on in the environment where Krishna is trying, he wants to extract the whole thing. He wants to extract everything. He won't be satisfied until he has everything. Yeah. So there's always some dance, some pull and some push and some turns. And in that way, more and more is being eked out of us. Because actually, we were not really aware of all the ways in which we are lacking, we are deficient. It would be too much for us, if somebody were to really sit us down and give us the raw truth. We couldn't handle it. We wouldn't be able to perceive it even necessarily. So it is like some anesthetic is there, right? If the doctor has to perform some heavy operation, then some anesthesia, do you call it?
Yeah. Gradually, right?
Yes.
Gradually we'll see the necessity and the freedom it gives, right?
Yes. That awakenment will have to come gradually. All of these incidents that take place in the environment, they're like in a gentle way helping us to go to higher layers of truth. They're like gently pushing us to. Yeah. And our only job is to not resist that. Not to fix ourselves, be too rigid and fixed in one position or thought.
such a mysterious journey, actually. That in that fire of sacrifice, you burn all these entanglements,
yes,
attachments, and things that you thought were so needed in your life that actually are not.
yes. And then the golden self will arise from the ashes. It would be nice to meet that person one day. I look forward to that in my case.
Well, we see it already.
Sometimes we get some hint of a feeling within ourselves, oh, there's a better person inside of me, and I think it will come out one day.
Very beautiful.
Surrender performed in full in these three ways swiftly grants complete success. Otherwise, the result obtained is proportionate to the depth of one's surrender. In order to learn Sharanagati, one must first fall at the feet of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the teacher of Sharanagati to the jivas, non-different from the acharyas Sri Rup and Sri Sanatam, who is a personification of the ideal of supramundane devotion, and pray, Kandiya, Kandiya bole, Amito Adam, Shikaye, Sharanagati, Kodohe Uttam. Crying incessantly, I pray, I am so lowly, please elevate me by teaching me Sharanagati. So in Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's song, we're singing this song every day. No, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Doya Kari. There at the conclusion of his song, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he is praying to Rupa and Sanatan. Rupa Sanatana Pode, Dante Trina Kodi, Bhakati Vinoda Pode, Dui Pada Dodi. That Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, I'm falling at the feet of Rupa and Sanatan, with straw between my teeth, praying to them to instruct me in Sharanagati. But here, Srila Gurudev, he's citing the same verse, Kandiya Kandiya Bole Amito Adam Shikaya Sharanagati Korohetam, crying and crying, I am fallen, I am Adam, please elevate me, please teach me Sharanagati. Gurudev is saying we must follow the feet of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He is non-different from Rupa and Sanatam. In the teachings of our Param Gurudev, the supremely worshipable, radiant Vaishnavacharya, Om Vishnu Pad, Shri Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada, we find, the good fortune of the world will be realized by profuse preaching of the songs of Sharanagati. And there's another expression of Srila Saraswati Thakur. I'm pretty sure I heard from Sripad Tyagi Maharaj. Can't think which text. But that Srila Saraswati Thakur said that the influence of Kali will be decreased in this world to the extent that the teachings of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur are preached. And maybe he specifically said Sharanagati, I don't remember. But referring to the writings and teachings of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, to that extent the influence of Kali will be reduced.
I don't know, I understand what you are saying.
Basically, the idea is that the more that we can spread the teachings of pure devotion in this world, to that extent, the influence of Kali will be checked in this world.
You big job, eh?
Yeah, for me it's been interesting because I've been just like in these last few weeks. I've never used Facebook, and just in these last few weeks I've been using Facebook for the temple here for the service. And so like I'm seeing like all these things, like there's so much nonsense on Facebook. And then I feel like I'm like throwing like a bomb or something, like I'm posting like the good news, the pure thing, you know, like I was thinking to myself, is like drowning out all the negativity. Like the more positivity you throw out there, the more you can like negate the counteract. Like drown it out.
That's what you just said. The only way.
Yes. Thus, in accordance with Srila Saraswati Thakur's teaching and desire, our dearly beloved Gurudev, the embodiment of eternal ecstasy, Nityananda, Om Vishnupad Ashtotar Shatashi Shrimad Bhakti Dakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, has, so for the satisfaction of Srila Saraswati Thakur, our Gurudev, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, has for the ultimate welfare of all jivas written a befitting commentary for relishing the poetry of Sharanagati, known as Sri Lagu Chandrika. This edition has been compiled to help those desirous of shelter to see the way of progress towards the feet of the Lord. This edition has been compiled to help those desirous of shelter to see the way of progress towards the feet of the Lord. So if you're really like practically trying to find a way that you can make a connection with the Lord in a real way, in a substantial way, in a sincere way, here's your answer. This is like a map, you can say. You can follow the mood and the mode of practice that is described here. This is like the practical way to approach the Lord. Only after obtaining my Gurudev's merciful blessings, which bestow good fortune upon the world, as an unworthy and fallen servant such as I become engaged in the publication of this book. In this connection, I could not restrain my eagerness to cite his unprecedented treatise on Sharanagati, the compilation known as Shri Shri Papana Jivanamritam. Within that book are recorded numerous fundamental truths, conceptual analysis, and so forth related to surrender, which are essential for faithful and inquisitive persons to understand. This edition has been published for the welfare of the world. For the convenience of elderly readers, it has been formatted with large lettered typesetting for the main text, and slightly smaller lettered typesetting for the commentary. It has also been furnished at the end with a collection of prayers by surrendered souls, Sharanagati Partana, and prayers unto Sri Guru Vandana. On account of my various shortcomings, there is no doubt that faults and omissions have occurred within this beautiful book. O Vaishnavas, saviors of the fallen, and well-wishing readers, please bestow your forgiveness and affectionate mercy on this fallen soul. Purify him and make him fit to serve Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. In conclusion, this humble soul's prayer at the feet of Sri Hari, Guru and Vaishnav is that this book, Sharanagati, may reveal her innate supramundane sweetness all over the world, and thereby bestow eternal welfare upon the jivas. In conclusion, this humble soul's prayer at the feet of Sri Hari, Guru and Vaishnav is that this book, Sharanagati, may reveal her innate supramundane sweetness all over the world, and thereby bestow eternal welfare upon the jivas. The editor, Sri Gorendu Brahmachari Vidyaranjan, is our Gurudev's name before sannyas, Gorendu. Okay, well, I think we'll stop there. And then after that, we'll start the Mangala Charanam. Okay. Jai Shri Sharanagati ki Jai, Shri Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai. Any final thoughts? Anyone? Okay. ¿Quieres cantar? Hari Haraye Namah Krishna Jadavaya Namaha Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana Giridhari Gopinata Madana Mohana Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Gadadhara Shivasani Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Rupa Sanatana Bhattara Gunata Jiva Gopala Bhattara Saragunata Echai Gosai Kori Charana Vandana Jaha Hoite Vignana Shabista Purana Echai Gosai Jamuita Dhanasa Panchabada Pada Renu Moda Panchagrasa Nadira Charana Sebi Bhakta Sane Basa Janame More Abhilasha Nechai Gosai Jabe Braje Koi Nabasa Shri Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakasha Anande Molo Hari Bhaja Vrindavana Guru Vaishnava Can say the Jais.
Jai Sri Sri Guru Gauranga
Jai.
Jai Saparika Sri Sri Guru Gauranga
Jai.
Vishnu Bhaktam Sri Chari Sri Krishna Bhakti Sundar Jai.